Hi, so today I bring you with a hard pill to swallow, one that I have learned with loads of pain and suffering and dwelling and things like that, is that unfortunately some people, or at least most people, not some people, they don't want help, they just want attention. And that is a very important lesson we should all take into account and we should all learn ASAP. So yeah. So let's get into it, shall we? So why am I coming with this? The thing is, this is something I have learned throughout the years with my family, friends, and students. And it's something that most people won't learn until they have been through hell. And it's a very important lesson to be learned as soon as possible because you might be wasting your time and energy and care in someone who doesn't actually want help. Though they may need it. I'm not making an argument against that. It's just that they don't want it. They just want the attention you provide to them while you're helping them. And though it's a very sad way of searching for attention, it is a very prevalent one, both among children, adults, you name it. And they just want, in a way, that you do the things for them. Because they don't want to do it themselves. And that's a hard pill to swallow, because it means you have been tricked out of your time, out of kindness, and they're just abusing both of your time and your energy and causing you grievance just because they want attention. And it's both insulting, but at the same time it kind of makes you lose a little bit of hope in humanity, and you're just like, ah, and then you're just like, okay, I'm never gonna help anyone else, and it's because everybody's the same, and I keep telling everyone to do it, and they should do this and this and this and then first. Just because you're telling someone what they should do doesn't mean they're gonna do it. That's a little bit of entitlement on our behalf. Try to help someone, tell them you should do this and this and that. No. You can advise people to do things. That doesn't mean they will do it. Or at least they can do it, because it's not sometimes like, for example, you're in an abusive dynamic and damn well you need to leave. Not always is possible just to get up and leave. Not from a practical point of view. So telling someone you have to do this, and if you don't, then you don't deserve my help, it's a bit of a nasty position to be in. You're just leaving people alone. But then at the same time, there are people who are constantly in the same cycle, not because they can't leave, but because they don't want to leave. Because it provides them with a source of attention that is very difficult to get out of, and incredibly addictive. It is one of the most addictive kinds of attention you could ever find. I have seen this in kids and everything, and the worst thing is when kids don't even want to learn how to read, or how to do the ABC or the vowels, because they don't see it as a necessity, and you're just like, oh, I don't know. And you're just like, yes you do. Oh no, I don't know. And they just throw a scissor fit. And you're just like, oh. Now, when the parent is up to the task and they put a limit and you're like, oh yes you do and you can do it, that's a good thing. But when the parents are equally, how do you call it? Compliant, overly compliant, and they're just like, oh, but you should play with them and you should do this. I play with the kids when I'm teaching them something. The problem is when they're crossing the boundary and they're just doing it for the game, not for the actual learning. And you're just like, yes, I understand that, but I do understand the teacher in the classroom is going to be with 40 other kids. She doesn't have the time to play with everybody in the way he's doing. And the way he's overly demanding my attention is counterproductive for itself, because school is not just to learn how to do letters, it's also to learn behaviors. And one of the most important behaviors we learn in school is to do the things we must do. Not because we want them to do, not because we enjoy them, but because we must do those things. And parents are like, oh, I prefer another teacher that will be more on top of the kid and, playing with them. And I'm just like, yes, I get it, but your kid, it's not learning the most essential and crucial thing, is that sometimes we have to do things we do not like, not because life is just like, it's cruel and vicious, it's just that it can be something really stupid and tiny. But if your kid doesn't learn a basic negotiation skill, such as I need to do this and to learn the letters, the first letters, and so I can do this and that, then they won't do the basic task of learning how to read. But more importantly, they won't develop that inner core strength of I have to sometimes do things I do not like for the greater good. And that implies anything. It can be anything, for real. I'm not exactly sure what the parents are expecting from the world. But if you're not teaching those skills to your kids, don't expect them to do the right thing when they grow old. So that's why I think that we are seeing an increasing amount of adults who do not do what they must, because it is a generational thing that it's increasing. Parents are not willing to do what they must in spite of the challenging circumstances. Are we going to expect their kids to do any better? And it's not because we cannot expect things to go better about kids, it's just that culture has deteriorated to the degree in which people have no duties, no moral duties. And this is starting to be reflected, at least in my society, to the degree in which kids, they don't even take the effort to learn how to read the ABC, because there is no need to do so. Or at least not for them from their minuscule perspective. And this is something I have observed also in adults, but usually it's in a more tamed manner. But that's the thing. It is the previous generation that is in a more tamed manner. So the thing is, this behavior, it's like a snowball, and it's right now going down the hill. It's so fast, so big, so massive, it's going to crush in our faces soon enough. And I think that's because some people are being raised to do what they want, not what they need. And that's a cultural thing, a cultural shift that happened around 50 years ago. That's one of the reasons why the institution of marriage, and I believe the overall fatherhood thing, it's occurring. There is a lot of fathers who do not take responsibility of their kids. In my country, at least, in the region where I live, in the social strata where I live, that's what's happening. And there is no accountability, no nothing, because there is no sense of duty. And there is no sense of responsibility. And just like the snowball falling down the hill, it started like this, it's getting like this. And kids are not learning the basics. So, I think we should rethink culture and our attitude towards duty, and realizing that we cannot help people who just want attention, because we're just fueling the addiction. And this is gonna have terrible consequences in just about, what, 10 years from now? In about 10 years from now. Yeah. So, to wrap this thing up, some people don't want help, they just want attention. And if we help them, even if it might seem a disheartening thing to say, we need to let them go and abandon them in their madness. Because we cannot go after crazy people saying, yes, yes, Mr. Napoleon, you're correct. Yes, my emperor, the son of the sky of France, you are indeed the greatest emperor of all time. We cannot do that with crazy people. Then why are we going after people who clearly don't want our help? They just need our attention. Why are we validating and fueling a monster that's going to eat us all up in a few years from now? They want to have something done? Well, they're gonna have to figure it out on their own. They need to fucking learn duty. You cannot just go about in your life with no sense of responsibility and duty. Oh, my boyfriend this, my boyfriend that, my boyfriend this. And you're just like, you're financially independent and you could, if you wanted to move away from him, aren't you? Yes. You should take responsibility of your own actions. You do realize you're staying with him in spite of everything he does to you. But no! At that point, you just need to stop fueling the beast, stop feeding the monster, and stop giving a crap. Because you know what? That woman is going to make with that man, not one, not two, maybe more kids. With, even if it's just one, they're just reproducing. With zero sense of responsibility, with zero sense of duty. More importantly, they're gonna want attention. They're gonna be some attention-seeking bastards, and they're gonna make fuss. They're not gonna learn the basic things, not because they cannot, but because they want the attention you provide them when they're being a troublemaker. Because this is the thing, some kids only get attention when they are making trouble. And I think that's the adults we're watching nowadays. They just get the attention they want when they're making trouble. So guess what? They're gonna make fuss. I don't know, maybe I'm just tired and confused. But the thing is, the one thing I have for Clay and that you should take away from this, some people don't actually want your help. They just need your attention. And that can be within a healthy degree, in which they just need you to listen, or in an unhealthy degree, in which they're not willing to take responsibility or any duties for their actions, and they're not willing to move on from the situation that it's troubling them, and they're just craving for your attention during that little while. They just don't want to change things. It's not that they can't, just they don't want to, versus the people who might actually be in need of your help. They just can't leave at the moment, and they just need your attention for a little while. There is a healthy aspect, just like anything, you know. There's a healthy aspect of that, and an unhealthy aspect of it. And we should be mindful not to feed the monsters in this side of the spectrum. I don't care how old they are. I don't care if they're a toddler or a grown-ass adult. If they need your help, help. But we're just wanting your attention and sucking the life out of you, just don't. Walk away from that person. That is toxic. So yeah, I hope I have served you, or at least your time has been useful somehow. And yeah, until next time, I wish you nothing but the best. And if there's anything I can do to improve or anything, just let me know. Oh, interesting makeup. And I just saw someone with an interesting makeup. It was fascinating. And yeah, until next time, may you be surrounded by people who need your help, not your attention. Or at least if they do, I hope they are doing it in a healthy manner. And yeah, till next time, bye bye.